Alright, now some of you are probably not going to be real happy with me. So I put two of these charts on your slideshow, not because I made an error, but because you probably did. Now let's see how you did. Maybe some of you caught me and you said, Mr. Sutton, I don't know, I think you're slipping a little bit. But I probably tricked a bunch of you and probably made you scratch your heads a lot. And that was my intention. So this is what you should have done here is to figure your marginal physical product, which again is not the marginal product of labor. Well, it is, but not termed that way on your AP test, so ignore these. So this I'm looking for the change in output that came from an additional banana picker. So this first guy, he brought in 100, right? And I 0 to 100. So now, if that was troubling to you, hopefully now it helps you out. Try and figure it out. I'm going to fill these in so that you don't have to wait for me. But you should try to do it on your own too. Go. So it should look like this. 100 to 180 is a change of 80. The second banana picker picked 80 additional apples. The third one, 60, 40, so on and so forth. If this is troubling you, ask a friend, shoot me an email, shoot me an Edmodo message, and I'll try to help you out. But hopefully this is pretty self-explanatory. Now MRP, so you got to do marginal physical product times the price to get your MRP. Okay, all right, so I got my MPPs right here. All I got to do is multiply by the price. So let's see here. Hopefully we've got some good answers here, and go. No, hopefully you have no answer here. You don't know. Like, I didn't give you enough information to answer this problem, and hopefully you were able to do this column, and then you said, what the heck, Mr. Sutton? I can't answer this. I don't know what the price is. We're going to make the price here $2. $2, not 20. Okay? Price of bananas is $2. All right. Now go ahead. Now finish your chart. Okay? I'll wait. Go ahead. I'm still waiting. Figure it out. So hopefully it looks like this on your paper, because you multiplied everything by 2. Now some of you might have said, okay, I'm going to make up my price like Mr. Sutton didn't give it to me. Maybe that's what I'll do. If you did, fine. So be it. But if you didn't, or you've now messed up your chart royally, it looks like a mess, just use the second one. Okay? Now, we're trying to figure out how many workers to hire here. And now, hopefully, you also realize, wait a second, I can't answer this either because you didn't give me the wage. I know the benefit of the worker now, Mr. Sutton, but I don't know the cost of the worker. Let's say the workers cost you $60 a piece. Okay? And it's $60 all the way through here. See if you can figure out how many you'll hire. How many workers will you hire? Compare your cost and your benefits here. And go. Alright, so here's what let's see. The first worker, how much is he worth to you? 200. How much does he cost you? 60. So that's a marginal profit, an additional profit of 140, right? He brings in a profit of 140 for you. Okay, how about the next worker, the second one, brings in 160. Cost you 60. So that means you get an extra profit from this guy of $100. Man, I like that kind of banana picking. Now, the third worker is 120. He brings in 60. Now notice, my marginal profits are falling, but I'm still earning an additional profit here, even by hiring these guys. Yes, I'm paying them their wage, but they're still bringing in more bananas than their wage accounts for. So this guy, he brings in 80, which isn't that much, but man, it's still more than his wage, and I make a $20 profit. I might as well hire him too, right? Now this last guy, he only brings in 40, but I gotta pay him 60. Well, now that's a negative 20. So I'm not gonna hire this guy. I'll hire these first 4. I'll hire these guys. But I'm not hiring the ones on the bottom, the one on the bottom. I'll hire 4, but I'm not hiring 5. Okay, and again, if you notice, the marginal revenue product here is 80. It is greater than or equal to 60. So remember, that's your rule. I'll write it again. This is your hiring rule here. Notice for the fifth worker, the marginal revenue product is 40, but the wage is 60. 40 is not greater than or equal to the wage of 60. All right. So now I realize I apologize for being less than honest and truthful in my dealings here, but hopefully it sticks in your head and you remember, okay, I need all these pieces of information. Now, if you look at this, it says, suppose the price of oranges increased. How would that influence the market for bananas and the hiring of banana pickers? And some of you might be like scratching your head, like, what, Mr. Sutton, what do oranges have to do with bananas? Think back to the very, very beginning. What's one of the first things that we did as a class? One of the first concepts that we had? Just basic supply and demand, right? So let's do this. So here's that question. Suppose the price of oranges increased. Well, what's the relationship between oranges and bananas? Well, hopefully you recognize them as probably substitutes. On the test, they'll be very, very clear with you that they are substitutes. So if the price of a substitute increased, what are you going to do when it comes to the demand for bananas? Well, I'm gonna demand more bananas. And remember, the price was originally $2. That's what we calculated for, right? But now the price has gone up. So the price of the bananas increased. Now let's go back and look at our chart here. What's going to be the ramifications if instead of the price being $2, let's say it's now $4 or $3 or $2.01? It doesn't matter. What's going to change here? Will the wage change? No, it'll stay 60. That's not going to change. But I just changed the part here that's MPP times price. That's your marginal revenue product. So all of these would now change. Instead of being 100 times 2, it's 100 times 4. This would be 400, 320, 240, 160, 80, so on and so forth. And so then these would change as well. So you may now hire more workers. Okay? Notice if we got the MPP to increase as well, the same thing could occur. We could get a bigger marginal revenue product, and then we would want to hire more workers because workers look more valuable. All right? If you have any questions, please let me know. I am going to have you work on a couple of problems that are in your slideshow packet. I'm going to show them to you here in one moment. So I want you to look at 3 problems, the next 3 slides. So I want you to try this one. All right? I want you to try this one here. Now notice, don't worry about this. We'll talk about it when I go over it. But notice here, it's a banana picking machine. It's not a worker. And it tells you which rental rate. The rental rate is like your wage, okay? So that's how much you would pay for a machine. Okay, so don't get yourself too confused. This is like your wage. All right? And I just put this in here because most of the time I think it's easiest to think about it in terms of workers and the wages they pay, but it can, again, be a problem about a machine or a piece of land, and they use the term rent in place of wage, okay? And then the final one you're going to do is this multiple choice question here. I'm going to review 2 of the 3 for you in the next video. So try those on your own and then see me in the next video and let me know if you're having any difficulties, all right? Thank you.